Countdown on the clock again. Feel like I'm playing in a game that I can never win. Time is running out, I know I gotta make a choice. So many whispers in my ear that I can't hear my voice. Tell me, will it end the situation that I'm in? Or am I bound to sit alone, drowning in my sin? Get right or get left, what will it be? Time is running out, the blood is flowing down the streets. People need to know we're living in.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loot Bros Podcast. I'm your host, Resident Daryl, and with me this week, I've got my good friend Gaz Davis. How you doing, brother?
I'm very well, thank you. Great to be on again. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, I get excited. I like whenever you and I can get together, and it's becoming more of a regular thing, and I definitely enjoy it. So the run of the show this week, we're on a little bit of a time crunch, so we're going to kind of fly through some stuff. We're going to obviously talk about what we've been playing, what we've been watching, but then we're going to jump into the most recent report for the annual Rarity event for this year, and I've got an announcement or two to make as well. So definitely some cool stuff. So before we get started, guys, before we jump into all the nonsense, I want to knock out the housekeeping real fast. I want to give a shout out and a toast to all our Patreon producers. For February, we've got My Name is Mayo, MZ Nitro, and we've got Matt G from the Trophy Horse. Thank you guys so much for all your support. New videos over on the Resident Daryl YouTube channel. Been busting out some shorts lately, Gareth. I did a little bit of research, and I dabbled in shorts before, and I felt like they tanked my traffic. I was reading that like if you just throw one or two out every now and again, it kind of hurts your algorithm. But if you churn them, if you just keep them going, and then you put out your long form videos, that actually helps with subscriber ranks and increases and stuff. So I've been playing around at night with some shorts.
So have you seen your subscribers increase then as a result?
A little bit. I mean, it's been cool. We've gained a few. We're about 645 subscribers as we're talking right now, and we kind of got stuck at the 500 mark for longer than I had anticipated, but it's been pretty good. So we busted out some shorts, having a good time making those. Got some long form videos coming back out this week, guys. Also, we have a Patreon. Extra content goes up each and every month on the Patreon. You have a $1 tier, $5 tier, a 10 and a 25. We'd invite anyone who's listening to go check out the Patreon. There's hundreds of podcasts on there. Hundreds. There's lots on there. Way more than I expected. So all that as far as housekeeping goes for the outside of the podcast stuff, and then the immediate podcast news, whether it's good news or bad news is kind of to be determined. But the commissioner, JT, and I have decided that we're actually not going to do the Backlog Beatdown 5 this year. We were having some discussions in the background, and we were looking kind of like how it's worked out over the past few years. The help, the people that actually enter in and double check the games and all that stuff. And we decided that, we're going to take this year off. The last year was fun, and it's been really good. But I think both of us really like your event, which is why we're here to talk today, Gareth, the annual Trophy Rarity event. I think we both like kind of what that requires of us. And we have decided that instead of doing little seasons of the Backlog Beatdown Season 5, we're actually just going to put it away for a little while, and maybe we'll bring it out next year and play again. So
excellent. Yeah. Good stuff.
Not bad. So, yeah, all of that being said, I'm going to do a real quick little toast. I've actually already popped my can. I got real thirsty earlier. So I just want to give a shout out and a toast to everyone. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going to start off with you, Gareth. What have you been playing and what have you been watching? I got some cool stuff to talk about today.
Okay. Well, you'll probably be longer than me. That's
what she said.
In terms of what I've been playing, it's not a huge amount, to be honest, this week. I've been sort of dabbling in and out of games. I haven't really spent a long time playing anything, just sort of dipping in and out, really. The main game, so I did end up getting the platinum trophy in that Ice Age game, Scrat's Nutty Adventure.
There you go, game of the year.
It was okay. It was frustrating at times with the camera. It is, it is jank basically. That's what we're saying on that game. It's I would only recommend it if you were a fan of Ice Age or under 11 years old, maybe. So I did finish off that one, because I did actually start that one for some easy trophies when I think it might have even been when we were doing the last GTTSC, hence the reason why I never really got round to sort of completing it. I didn't need to play it at that point until I thought I wanted to mop it up anyway. I've just been sort of dabbling a little bit in some of the games I already mentioned on previous weeks, but I'm not going to go into any great detail of them. Still going through Art of Rally, still going through that Kato game and Food Truck Tycoon. Just been playing those two on the portal late at night, just to do the last 20 minutes before bed, before sort of getting tired. So I've just been mopping up some trophies in that. The one game that I have got back into playing, and I've only gotten back into playing it in the last couple of evenings, is Trackmania. Have you played that?
I have not. I've seen it, but I haven't.
So it's free to play, but it was But I bought the season pass several months ago, and because if you are going to go for platinum, and anyone who does go for platinum, fair play to you, because it is a super hard platinum to get. But the DLC, the season pass, makes it. It opens up more options for you to get the trophies. So I got back into that and earned a few more trophies in that. I like the nature of it, of how it's instant. You jump into a track, and if you crash, it's just literally a press of a button and you're starting again literally within a second. So there's none of this long load times, which would put me off for a game like this, because it's all about repetitiveness and knowing the track and making as few mistakes as possible. So I was having a bit of fun with that. Do you want to go into what you're playing, or do you want me to go into what I've been watching as well?
Tell you what, you go ahead and just do what you've been watching. We'll just tie them all together, because neither one of us have a long list of games we played.
Okay. So I've started watching a series, and that series is called Culprits. I don't know if you heard of that at all or not.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, I'm watching it on Disney Plus, and it is really, really good so far. I'm five episodes in, and it's basically a heist that had taken place. A group had been got together of specialists, and as it turns out, so you're seeing then and now, sort of it flicks between the two timelines, but it appears that despite them going into hiding and changing identity, they're getting picked off one by one. So someone's after them, and that's set across both England and America. So it's and that's really enjoying that. That's good, well worth watching so far anyway. And then I watched 3 films over the weekend. I finally got round to watch. I never went to the cinema to it. I meant to go to the cinema to see it, and I've just been put off. But I watched Top Gun Maverick. Finally got round to watching that. Really, really good. Enjoyed it. A lot of nods to the original. Really enjoyed it.
Heck yeah.
I watched a film with Jason Statham. It's a new one. I think it's on at the cinema soon, called The Beekeeper.
Oh, I want to see that. That.
So I watched that on Saturday night, I think it was, and it is really, really good, pure action, and it's basically the Beekeepers. I won't give any spoilers away, but they're an organisation higher than anything else, above the law, and Jason Statham is obviously part of this retired part of this group, and he gets wronged, and he takes vengeance upon anybody who is involved in that. So it's full on action, what you would expect from a Jason Statham film. But yeah, definitely well worth watching. Really enjoyable. And then the final film I watched was a slightly older film, 2017 one called The Circle. It had Tom Hanks and Emma Watson in. And it was just on Netflix, and I just wanted something easy to watch. And that was okay. Nothing to write home about. It's about a technology organization who want to basically control and want to know. And the topic is about how invasive it is and how much privacy people should have. And this group, The Circle, want to know where everybody is, identify everybody, and obviously there's a whole debate roaring whether it's ethical or not. So it's it's not action, but it's quite a good little drama. Not a bad film, not one you'd rush out to go and see, but if it's on, it's worth a watch.
Heck yeah.
And that's me done.
Nice. Well, I won't take near as long as you. I'm just kidding, but I didn't play much either. Like, since I've got my Portal, Gareth, I have just been playing 2 games mainly, and that is WWE 2K22. It's the perfect device to just sit there and grind out matches. Like, I'm not getting a ton of trophies. The ones that I'm getting they take hours, and they're not even super rare or anything, so I'm not getting mega points for it, but I'm having a good time. I've completed the male storyline where I go and knock out, I've gone to all 3 brands. I've won the championship in all 3 brands. Now I've kicked over and started the women's championship. Those are actually much more rare as far as the trophies go.
Right.
And then do it.
No, I just said okay, right.
Yeah, so whereas the men's was like 32%, 20%, whatever, the women's are 9s and 10% on PS Profile, so PSN Profile. So there'll be some rare trophies. I'll get a very rare out of it, but just having a good time, and it's perfect. It's the perfect device to sit down, enjoy a movie, enjoy a show, and then just grind out these trophies. So I did pick up WWE 2K23.
Yeah.
Once they announced 24, Best Buy put all the copies of 23 on sale. So
when is 24 out? Because I keep seeing it on the store as like a 40 a year WWE anniversary edition or something like that.
It's like March.
Right.
March or May, one of those two. But yeah, so it's coming out soon. So, but the thing about it is, like, I get these games and then I play them forever, and because I'm playing less overall than I have over the years, I've got so much to do still in 22 before I even go to 23 and then 23 to 24. So it's good. It's fun. I'm having a good time. And the story mode is really engaging and really fun. And it's a good time, and especially because we're watching wrestling and I'm going through the games and stuff, and it's just I quite enjoy it. So we've been playing that, and next up I've been playing some Call of Duty Cold War Black Ops, or Black Ops Cold War rather. And I got a couple buddies, some old high school friends that I've kind of we had a mutual friend pass away recently, and the 3 of us have kind of like, what, we're going to make a better point to hang out together. You know what I'm saying? Like, life's short. We don't know when you don't know what tomorrow looks like. So we've tried really hard to, text each other weekly. And, I keep up with you, Gareth. You and I stay in contact pretty regular, almost daily, every couple of days. I do that better with you, and I do that better with Jared, and I do that better with Joe and Zach and Thomas and Matt than I do with the actual people I've known my whole life. So I'm just making a point, what I'm saying? Like, I do like what I call the bros check in, and during the week I'll just pick a time to just check in on some of the guys that I hadn't heard from in a while, and just trying my best to be a better friend to people, which might sound lame, but it's just something that I've taken for granted. So, and then after, like I said, we had a friend pass away, and who constantly reached out about us hanging out, and I just didn't take advantage of it. It was like, oh yeah, tomorrow or next week, yeah, we'll make it happen. But I never got serious about it. So
easily done, and I think everybody is guilty of it.
Yeah. I mean, how it is. We get busy. We got wives. We got kids. We got our families. But like every now and again, you do got to just take a break and say, you know what? I'm just going to make time for people. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So that being said, you guys know me. I'm not a huge multiplayer kind of guy, but we've been, jumping on and playing some Black Ops Cold War. As a matter of fact, we've got a tentative date for this weekend to play some more Cold War. So we're going to be playing some of the online, and I've been kind of grinding out the kills and the elimination trophies. So I got my 200 elimination trophies. I'm working on my elimination trophies with special weapons and tanks and stuff like that. And I'm working on my 50 wins trophy because I'm total garbage. So I lose more than I win always.
So is that the trophies online related? Because it's been a while since I played Call of Duty. And when I used to play Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 and even 3, that not many of the trophies, if any at all, were online related ones. They were all campaign.
There's a few. Yeah. So I'm trying to knock those out first, and then everything else I can kind of grind out on my own. So I've already got a ton of the trophies on the PS5 version. I'm playing the PS4 version just to kind of clean up that list.
Yeah.
So I think I could platinum this one. I feel pretty confident about it. Now, just whether I'll put in the time to do it, the portal's going to determine whether or not I do that. But having a good time with it. The only other game I played that I didn't get any trophies on because I'm just having a real hard time finishing it. It's called Succubus.
Oh yeah, you've played that before, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's just so not great. Like, it's not terrible, but it's just kind of not great. That like, and like it takes place in hell. Okay, and like 90% of the game has got a censor bar over it because you're in hell. Everyone's in some form of nakedness, and the game was heavily censored on the PlayStation, which is fine with me. I don't know that I want to see a bunch of video game dingies running around, you know what I'm saying, while I'm playing. But the game is like, everything's censored, and it makes it look weird. I don't know. I don't know if it's aesthetically just the game doesn't, it's different. And it plays fine. And in theory, it's like a kind of a first-person slasher. I've thought this would be a good Portal game. I don't care about the dialogue. I don't care about the story. It's not very great. There's this succubus who's going through hell trying to kill a demon, and the stuff that she says is kind of dumb. So I'm like, okay, no volume, just slash away. And I can't see anything anyways because half the screen has got a censor bar on it or a blurry spot. So it's like you would think this would be the perfect game to play through a movie or a show or something, but I'm not enjoying myself with it. So I turned it on the other night. I tried to finish another mission. I ended up putting it down. I was like, you know what? I'll just play wrestling. So yeah, that's it. That's me. I haven't touched anything else as far as like actual playing games. I did make some really great pickups this week, but I'll save those for another episode. As far as films and television, now this is where the Portal has changed. You and I talked last week about how, or was it the week before, about how the Portal has how the Portal's changed our kind of day to day when it comes to how we interact with gaming. And one of the biggest benefits of the Portal for me has been like, I can play my console quality games with no latency. Like, I'm just having the best time, and watch a movie or watch a show. So I'm going to pick one of each. Okay. I watched that movie Sisu that you told me about.
Yeah.
That was good. I really enjoyed it. You're right. There's some parts where they jump the shark and you can't really suspend your disbelief anymore. It's like, how do you explain that when they don't, and they're just like, we're not going to explain it. We're just going to do it. And but I thought it was good. I quite enjoyed it. If you like John Wick, I got two movies. I got another one I got to tell you about. Oh, I got a real fun one to tell you about. But with Sisu, if you like John Wick and you think, what if John Wick was an old man killing Nazis? That's what this movie is.
Yeah, that's quite a good summary of it, actually.
Yeah, and it's good. It's like, it is what it is. It knows what it is, and it's like, we're gonna kill Nazis in very over the top fashion in an unbelievable way. And I'm here for it. It was good. It was a good movie. I liked the way it was filmed. It had a very good like aesthetic, like a dirty, gritty aesthetic. It didn't have bad CG or anything like that. It was good. So that was a good recommendation. The next one I got for you. Now, this one you may or may not have seen. And it's a little bit older, but I randomly picked up a Blu-ray of a movie called Odd Thomas. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I think I've seen it, and it's got. I'm trying to think who the main character is. It's someone who you'd know, isn't it?
So I'm looking up his name right now. It's Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, he was in Star Trek.
Okay, there you go, dude. This movie is so good. Like, I had very, very little expectations for it, because the thing that drew me to it is it has a cool looking demon kind of character on a monster on the back, and it's based off of a Dean Koontz novel. Okay. So, and I remember growing up in the 90s, Dean Koontz and Stephen King, any kind of movie based off of their stuff was good. It's like, oh, you're going to dig this.
Yeah.
And so I picked up this Blu-ray. I can't even remember where I found it. Like it was in a bundle or something, or maybe it was in this giant pallet that I bought. But I pulled it out and I was like, Odd Thomas, I'll watch that. And if it sucks, I'll throw it on the for sale pile. So I put it in the other day, Gareth, and it's just the story, the way it's told, the way the characters are written, the way they interact with each other. Like it is so good. The CG is a little lackluster. Like there's certain scenes where the CG is really good, and there's certain scenes where the CG is like a bad, like a bad sci-fi channel kind of film. But the story was so good, and just kind of like a brief synopsis. This guy Thomas, his name's Odd. They said that they messed up. They had a typo on his birth certificate. It was supposed to be Todd, but they wrote Odd on his birth certificate, so they call him Odd Thomas. And he can see like demons / dead people, and it's almost got like a Final Destination kind of thing where it's like not so much that he sees like a flash of what's going to happen to him necessarily, but he sees kind of like maybe a premonition of something that's going to happen, or he sees like a dead person, like a spirit that's leading him to a crime scene or something. And he works with the police, and the police chief is William Dafoe, which is an amazing actor. There's just nothing he does that's bad.
Yeah.
And he's got this almost like Batman and Commissioner Gordon relationship with him, where like William Dafoe can't see what he sees, right? But he trusts him because he's never wrong. And so they work together, and they kind of skirt the lines of what's legal and what's not, so that they can solve these crimes and put people in jail. And it's really, really cool. And the twist at the end got me. It got me, dude. I was like, oh, I had no idea. I was not expecting it. Like it was just, I mean, even by saying that right now, people that would go watch it are going to be like, wait a second, I'm looking for the twist now. I was not prepared. And
that was in the mall, wasn't it? Or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it sort of.
Yep. So, and my wife doesn't like sci-fi movies and doesn't like anything with demons or ghosts or anything in the horror genre. Like she doesn't like it, but she watched it with me and she was like, dang, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
because in real life, he died, didn't he? Anton Yelchin.
Now that I don't know.
Because I remember it was because he was a big actor in Star Trek, and it was a freak accident where it was something to do with, he got trapped by his car or something Dang. He'd gone to open the security gate on his driveway or something, and the car rolled back and crushed him against a pillar or something along them lines. It was, but
yeah, I'm not familiar with his story, but
yeah,
they did a really, really good job with him and his love interest in the show. And it's not often, like usually like romance and love interest and stuff like that, I can more so leave it than take it. Like normally it's just like, this is kind of dumb. But the way that they wrote those two characters and the way that they interacted with each other and the way that the girl looks at him and she's got this mischievous, like wildfire love for him, like it was good. And it was like almost like at a place in a sense where it's like, dude, he's kind of a nerd and she's kind of like the wild kid. Like clearly like they're not really going to be together, but then like the way that they tell their relationship, it just works. And it was fun to watch. And it was, it was just good, man. Just good writing. It was quite enjoyable. I highly, highly, highly recommend Odd Thomas. You can get a copy of it. You can find it on a streaming service somewhere. That's one of those that went straight into my personal collection. Like I'll watch that one again. So
I definitely watched it on a streaming service. I think it was like Amazon Prime. It was on or something like that over here.
Yeah, well, definitely worth it. So I highly recommend it. It was a good one. I ain't mad at that one at all. And then the last thing I got to share with you guys, and this is really me breaking the mold of like my interests, is so what I do when I go out and I buy my video games and movies and things to resell or whatever is if it looks interesting. Like I might set it in my office and then maybe have like a movie or something going on while I'm working or doing a bunch of paperwork. And if it catches my interest, maybe I'll, go back and watch it with like a little more, like I'll have the surround sound on. I'll have, I'll pay attention to it. So a lot of stuff that I pick up is like, this looks interesting, but it's probably going to be crap. So I'll just kind of have it on in the background. So that was kind of one of them. Another one of the DVDs that I picked up was the reality TV show Storage Wars. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
So it's from 2010. Apparently there's like 15 seasons of it. It's something crazy. But it's from 2010. And it's where a bunch of dudes go to storage lockers, like or storage facilities. And when people don't pay their bill, they bid on them. They're auctioned off. Uh-huh. And then they go through it to see if they find any like rare antiques or anything cool like that they can resell and make some money. Old show, and I've heard about it for years and years and years. It's kind of up there with like Pawn Stars as far as like here in the States. Like those are two reality shows that were super popular.
I have heard of Pawn Stars, but yeah,
right. Well, it's kind of in that same vein. And so my wife, we've had this conversation a lot. My wife likes reality TV. So I was joking. I said, "Hey, babe, I got a reality TV show that we can watch together." And so I put it in and was immediately hooked. I was like, this is totally fake, totally not real. They plant the random item in there that's like, oh, here's this storage unit of household junk and trash. Oh, wow, here's a $10,000 random antique. We should go get it appraised. And it's rinse and repeat every episode. Dude, we're almost 3 seasons into it now. This week,
3 seasons. Wow, you must enjoy it.
It's really fun to watch. I really enjoy it.
Excellent. So yeah,
it's called Storage Wars. So if you're, I don't typically deal with antiques, and the YouTube content I consume is like people like me that go around with their camera and just like they film themselves buying random stuff at swap meets, yard sales, thrift stores, flea markets and stuff. And they will pop up on the screen kind of what the value is based on the most recent sold comps on eBay. And that's how I learn a lot of what to look for. I just watch these guys out there shopping or whatever. It's on in the background while I'm working. And it's like, oh, wow, I just found this crazy item. Let me go check it out and see. So I know what to be looking for. Okay. Well, this show, Storage Wars, is a little unrealistic because most of what they're looking for is furniture they can sell in their random thrift stores or auction houses. And then there's always what we call the planted item. It's like, oh, they found the one item that's like not like everything else, and it's got to go to an appraiser. And is it worth thousands? Is it worth nothing? So it's dumb. And the drama is they outbid each other. They talk crap to each other. But it's really funny because some of the guys have like some funny like one-liners that I've been like using around the house, and it makes my wife laugh. And it's so funny because if I would have pulled a one-liner from a movie, she wouldn't laugh. I pull a one-liner from a reality TV show, and all of a sudden it's the funniest thing she's ever heard. So,
brilliant.
So that's me. That's wrestling and reality TV. That's pretty much what I've been into.
That sums up you and Brandy up well, doesn't it?
That's our relationship right there. Yep. Yeah. All right, Gareth. So here's the part where we're going to turn it over to you. Now we've got roughly 30 or so minutes to cover, the rarity event. So I'm going to just kind of hand over the mic to you. You kind of cover it how you want it to be covered, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously we'll do the. So this is probably the first. Is it this? Would you say this is the first proper update that we've done, or second update? Probably, isn't it? First,
I think
one, I suppose.
The first time. Yeah, I think we kind of did more of a recap last time, and then we did do a bit of an update. So we'll call it the second, but it's really the first one that we've got together where it's just like, hey, let's just kind of see where everybody's at. Yeah, definitely.
So obviously for those that are listening and those that have participated, and those that hopefully you're using the spreadsheet in terms of looking at it. I'd hate to think my work is going to waste, but it's but those that have looked at it would notice that there's quite a few more stats that are added this year, as well as the league table. So I'll go through some of those as well because they're quite I enjoy seeing what people are playing. I enjoy seeing what people are platting, how many games they've platted, and that is all available to view on the spreadsheet. Anyone who's not familiar with it, then obviously there are 3 tabs along the bottom that you can just scroll between, flick between to pull them up.
So I like how my section on the platinums this year is still empty.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the first one. Yeah, so
I'm terrible.
It will come. It better come when we get to GTTSC. Put it that way.
I know.
So we'll start in Division 2. We'll start down at the bottom and work our way up before we head into the other side. So the bottom 2 is both haven't scored points as of yet. However, I have heard from both of them in terms of, in fact, since we've been recording, Kalai has commented on the thread on Facebook about she's waiting for a new stand to be set up so she can put a PS5 back up on it or something. So, but bottom of the table is Big Bernadob. He was a newcomer last year, started late. He hasn't yet got off the mark in terms of trophies. He hasn't actually earned a trophy since November, but I reached out to him on PSN, and he's just literally been playing FIFA. He hasn't been going after anything other than, because he's got so many trophies within FIFA, and the way FIFA works in the trophies is that you've got to earn them in. There's maybe like 5 in one game mode, 5 in another, 5 in another. But if you only specifically play one type of game mode, then you're only going to get those 5 trophies. So I think that's what he's probably playing Ultimate Team, and has earned all the trophies you can get in Ultimate Team. So he's just probably playing it for fun. But he did say he'll be back on the trail at some point. So he had a -2 with legacy points, but his overall tally is 2 for the season so far. Kalai seems to be advancing a point a week at the moment, so she had another point, so her legacy points are working for her. She's on 5 points in total. I should actually note that you'll notice now there was originally 14 in each division. Division 2 has expanded to 16 because we had Rick his son wanted to join in, James Waldron, who he participated in the Backlog Beatdown last year, so he's now in the rarity contest.
Heck yeah.
And on last Tuesday, so a week ago today, JT felt as though he was missing out, so he wanted in, and
my man.
So we added him in on Tuesday, and so his scoring has all been since Tuesday, and yeah, so he's done well in his first week back into it, despite sort of claiming he was only going to be playing PC at the start of the year. But it's always the same, isn't it? These people always play. We had CJ a couple of years ago. I'm going to Xbox, and lo and behold, he's playing all the You look at his trophy list on PSN profile, and every top game you can get multi-platform, he's playing it on the PlayStation anyway. So,
hey, well, just a little. I guess foreshadowing into next week's episode, we're going to be talking a whole lot more about Xbox, Gareth, because it looks like they're finally going to announce the games that they're bringing over to PlayStation.
I've seen some rumors of some, yeah. I'm looking forward to some of them, yeah.
Same here, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to shout to the rooftops. You give me the opportunity to buy Gears of War on PlayStation, let's go. I'm here for it.
See, these will all be new to me. I've not played any Halo ever before. I've never played a Gears of War before. So
good. You'll have a good time.
Yeah. So then we get into in 14th place. Now everyone else is scoring points or earning trophies. So next up is Darth Knight. Darth Knight 82. He had 8 points this week. And his rarest trophy came in Madden 24. Which seems to be the Madden games seem to be a bit of a source for same with the NBA bet games, actually, a source for decent scoring trophies. Quite a lot of them tend to be between sort of the 10 and 20% mark, so that was his rarest trophy of the contest as well. He scored at 18.57. In 13th place, we do have James Waldron. So he started a couple of weeks later than everybody else, but he's soon progressed up. He had 9 points this week, 23 overall, and he was playing a bit of Lego 2K Drive, which obviously was given away on PS Plus November or December time, I think it was.
Now, if we see a Skyrim Platinum pop up on his profile, I'm going to go ahead and pre-call shenanigans because that means it's Rick.
Well, I think it's funny you should talk about Skyrim because we'll come on to that in a moment when we actually hit Rick. So, but I think he must be running out of places to play it on profiles to play it on. So, next up in 12th place we have JT, the commish himself. He started obviously from 0 and he managed to get 25 points in his first week. 20 of which, remember, have scored from uncommon to rare to very rare to ultra rare. But bear in mind, this year we've got the common bonus point system in for where you can earn points for scoring trophies between 50.01% and 80%. Exactly. So it's quite easy to work out because all I have to do is count to 10, count up to 10 trophies of that, those scores. And I don't need to worry about anything else after that. So there's some people who are really maxing out on those bonus points and are really seeing a difference to their scores. Whereas, so it gives you that incentive to play games like Spider-Man and your God of Wars and your Horizons, where Elden Rings, where you might not actually normally have typically scored points because a lot of their trophies would have been classed as commons, but now you can score within them. And if you play it right, because it's 10 trophies per update, depending on how often you're playing the game, or you could space that out and actually earn sort of, quite a few points off it overall. So, because obviously it's capped at 10 trophies, it's the maximum you can earn from it. But yeah, so he's playing. He's got Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, which he's not the only person to be playing that, but he's up onto 25. He's 17 points off Tross. Obviously one of Tricky's friends. He had 27, although I think that may subside slightly next week because he has been playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is where some of his rarer trophies have come from. Given that that's a brand new title, we may see the sort of score on those trophies decay slightly over the next week or two.
As long as they don't decay like the actual Metacritic score, then he'll be good.
Yeah, I've not really kept tabs on it. I saw Tricky playing a little bit, sort of.
Dude, it's so there's so much controversy around this game, and I went down the rabbit hole of just like learning about it, and like none of the people that worked on this game were from the old Rocksteady, like the successful Rocksteady games. This is all new people, young people. And they have taken a certain stance, and it has really just upset the base.
Yeah.
And just some of the choices that they make in the game and how they handle the older characters. It's wild, dude. It's wild. And this thing, it's so funny because not only does it have a bad rap with the critics, it's got like, it had a 51 earlier in the week. Now it's like a 63. Okay. But it's got like a 0.8 from the users.
Oh wow,
it's getting bombed, and so from what I've seen, probably rightfully so. But I can't really speak to if the game's fun or not because I didn't. People didn't like Gotham Knights, but I thought Gotham Knights was very fun. It's not a great game, but it's not a terrible game. No. But also, they didn't really have all the political stuff attached to it. Like it was pretty cut and dry, and it stuck pretty true to a lot of the source material, and it told some of the stories from some of my favorite comic book runs. So I like Gotham Knights, and I had decent expectations for Suicide Squad, but after the stuff I've seen, I think I'm gonna let this one sit for a while, and I'll catch it for like a little $10 spot somewhere.
It's a budget game. I'll pick it up at some point, but I'll always pick it up in a sale anyway. So
100%.
So just a further point on from Tross is the Brain 76. So Riley is up into 10th place. He scored his rarest trophy of the contest this week in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, which was at 8.87%. And obviously he must have been doing that co-op with Homer because he also got that trophy as well at the same time. So Homer's a little bit further up the league. So We'll get to him in a moment. So in ninth is Departed 570. Again, traditionally one who plays the newly released games. But his rarest trophy this week was actually in Goat Simulator. So
Get it.
So he had 11 points and is on 52. So it's still quite tight amongst them. And even only 3 points further on than him is Jared. So Stink Palm, he's on 55. He had 10 points this week. He recently completed Life is Strange True Colours, and he's sort of stayed in that same sort of vein for the next game. He's playing New Tales from the Borderlands. So those narrative-driven sort of multi-choice games. So he's up into 8th place. Then we get to Homer, who's in 7th, and he was the big mover in this division. So he jumped up 2 places from 9th to 7th. He had 31 points, taking him to 63. So nearly half of his points, again, were scored this week. His rarest trophy was the same as that of Riley's in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Another person, as I already mentioned, playing Suicide Squad is Tricky Mick, and he is streaming it. So anybody can check that out if they want to on the Proven Gamer, his Twitch channel. He's on 67 points with 12 added this week. And then probably I would say there's a bit significant jump from 5th. And now these top 5, because obviously in Division 2, you're competing for 3 places to go up to Division 1. And the early signs are that these are the 5 that are going to be battling it out. So in 5th, it's Pee-wee, ITFC, which stands for Ipswich Town Football Club, I would imagine. UK based, they had 16 points this week, 98 in total. Their rarest trophy was in Oddworld Soulstorm. What a slog! That was given away on PS Plus when the PS5 was released, wasn't it? One of the first games to come out with that, and it looked. I remember seeing the trailer for that. It looked really like a beautiful game. So I haven't got around to playing it like many other games that I haven't, and probably never will.
But we have the portal now, so we have no excuse.
Yeah, it gives us an extra chance. So in 4th place was a new entrant. Didn't compete last year. In fact, 3 of the top 4, or in fact 4 of the top 5 are all new entrants. So this is a friend of Darth Knight. He came into the competition. He had 25 points. It's Ifrit Hellfire. He had 25 points, taking him to 109. And he was playing Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. And that was his rarest trophy of the week. So then occupying the promotion spots as it stands is Dodge Williams in 3rd place on 128 points, 12 added this week, and his rarest trophy of the week was a Platinum one, which was in Far Cry Primal, Apex Predator, a 25.45% trophy. In 2nd was Crook. Crook is one of the hosts of the PlayStation Show UK, which actually relaunches tonight, actually. So they had a little bit of a break, but that starts again tonight. But he's in 2nd. He's also had the most number of platinums out of anybody out of both divisions this season. So he's doing well. He's on 144 overall. His rarest trophy. I feel like I've heard of the game, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. It was in a game called Gloomhaven. I don't know if you've come across that at all. The next, and then leading the way is California Wayne, and he had 18 points increase this week with a total now of 160. He also got the rarest trophy of the week, but not only that, he also had the rarest trophy of the entire season so far. It's whoever takes the crown from him is going to have to go super rare, because he has gone down at 0.32%. His
ridiculous.
Laid the marker down, which is in UFC Undisputed 3. So I think that might have even been rarer than any trophy that was earned last year. So that is some going. And I feel as though a quarter down, 3 to go, that sounds like only 25% of the game done or something like that. So I don't know how rare the other trophies are, but it might sound like one that is a good point scoring game. But he leads the way, albeit there's still only 32 points separating those top three, and less than 50
I have
points.
that game.
So
maybe I should try it.
Yeah, so yeah, it might boost you. Which, looking at it, you could do with a little boost, actually, to be honest. As we go, and right on cue, we go into Division 1, and starting at the bottom is yours truly, resident Daryl. After calls for it starting, he's got the portal now, and it's all coming good. And having said that, 26 points is not to be sniffed at. If you look at this, when you look at this, compare the leagues, and this is how you can see the difference between Division 1 and Division 2. You look at the top point scorer in Division 2 is on 160. That would only get you into 9th place in Division 1, having that 160 points. So it's obviously a big jump up. But yeah, so 26 points for you, Daryl, this week. So 78 overall. You did get your rarest trophy of the season in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Not a bad one.
8.55. No, that's a good start. Certainly, we'd like to see an ultra rare replace that at some point. But I'm sure that'll happen. But you were overtaken by Corey, the Grounded Gamer. So you're only trailing him by a single point at 79. He's on 79. Again, he also earned his rarest trophy this season in Fortnite. Then there's a bit of a jump up. So Redbeard Rick did occupy that 3rd place, but he had a big score this week and took him clear of danger for the time being. And we have Alex, so host of the Trophy Whores, who was in 3rd or 4th place in the opening weeks and has sort of dropped from 9th to 12th this week. He only had 11 points this week. Moving on to 142. It looks like he's playing Plague Tale Requiem. Obviously the second game in that series. But it is tight, so there's a long way to go. So there's only a few points separate the next sort of 4 or 5 people. So moving up to 11th and 10th is 11, both on the same score at 150. We have Marky Fraser, who has obviously won the competition last year. Bit of a slow start for him, but he had 34 points this week, and which included the platinum in Gotham Knights, which obviously is what we talked about earlier. And joint with him is I'm Styling on You Bro, who ended up finishing 4th last season. He had 30 points, and I've noticed that he's started playing other games on his PlayStation, whereas last season he was primarily doing the simulator games, the Train Sim World and whatnot. I've noticed he has still been doing the simulators. He's been doing a bit of Power Wash Simulator, but also I think it was Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, and his Big Drunk Satanic Massacre was his rarest trophy of this week.
That's actually a fun game.
I've heard of it, but not played it, and don't own it. It's
like a little top-down style twin stick shooter-ish kind of game. I went on a little bit of a run where that's where all I wanted to play for a while. And,
right.
Good game. It's
excellent.
Fun. It's kind of silly too.
Yeah. No doubt I'll probably pick it up again at some point, like everything else.
Got the Portal.
Yeah. I dropped down from 9th to 8th. I only had 9 points. I think I had the lowest. I certainly had the lowest in the top division. Nearly the lowest overall. But no, it wasn't for not earning trophies. I just kept I checked my trophy. I compare for the spreadsheet, not daily, but every now and again throughout the week. I check to see what they've merged, like increased to or decreased to. And I kept seeing this trophy move up or down 1 on my ultra rares, and depending on what day I did it on. And so I looked on. So what you can go into PSMP, and you can go into your trophy logs, sort by rarity, like ultra rare or very rare, and then sort by descending, I think it is, and it will show you your ones that are closest to 5% and going above. And there was this trophy in Golf Club 2 which just kept going, and I kept saw this one person, he was playing it and then earning the trophy, and I'm thinking, just stop playing it, like just leave it now, you can be done, or I just need someone else to start the game and just make it a bit rarer again, or someone else. So but yeah, that's so that was the reason for my 9 points. I kept sort of losing a bit on the decay, but I'm on 158. Next up is CJ. He's on 176. He had a 16-point increase this week. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is obviously a newly released game, is what he's been playing in his rarest trophy. Then we come on to Redbeard Rick. Massive jump from him, 12th to 7th, and he had the second highest score overall for the week at 112, taking him to 184 points overall. Dead Space 3, and what other game do you think?
Skyrim. Correct.
Bit of Skyrim again. So somehow he's managed to find another sort of stack of that he somehow doesn't have the trophies on. So he's managed to get that in somehow. I think it must be a PS3 version of something. I don't know. So he's now moved up and is clear of danger. So, and then 6th is Mr. TMNT. 42 points again, so he's been pretty consistent with his scoring this season. 195 overall. Moving out 2 was his rarest of the week, but obviously he tends to play quite a lot of games anyway. That's by the nature of the way he plays. He dips in and out of loads of games. So
get 50% and go.
Yeah, that's right. And he's up there as well, and you can tell because obviously you'll find that 21 points he's adding bonus points for the commons, which is only one below the highest, which is CJ and Dupes. But that would stand to reason given that most common trophies are likely to be the easier ones at the start of the game. So he would earn those ones. That's why it benefits him, he doesn't have to get the platinum to get to score points, so he's certainly benefit from the new format.
Yep.
Dupes went up a position from 6th to 5th, 92 points this week, 249 overall. So we're starting now to increase and get up a bit. His rarest was the platinum in Double Dragon Gaiden, which obviously is the new Double Dragon game. In 4th place is Yield. So the other trophy host is he had 61 points. He's 3 points ahead of Dupes on 252. It looks like he's nearing the end of Lego 2K Drive and approaching the platinum on that one. I'm not sure how long the platinum is supposed to be on that, but I think he's about 80 odd percent of the way through the trophies on that. In 3rd is Mies Goats a lot, 75-point increase to bring him back into contention for battling out with 2nd place. He was playing Trine 2, and that's where his rarest trophy came in, which was a very rare at 7.49%. Again, 20 common bonus points for him, so that's helped him out. Some might think a bit of a surprise in 2nd, but obviously scoring really well this season is MZ Nitro.
There we go.
367 points overall for the season so far, 36 after he finished sort of below midway last season, but he's been scoring good points, and having looked at some of his trophies, he's earned. Since I did this update, he's going to be scoring well again next week as well, or this week. So
looking good, MZ.
Yeah, well done to him. And then we have the leader by a ginormous total of 593 points clear of 2nd place on 954 points is Diego, and he's consistently getting 200 points a week now. He is absolutely killing it. So it looks as though he's playing a lot of the Call of Duty still and doing the online trophies. But having looked through, it's not just that. It's like he seems to be just smashing everything. I saw he was playing Back 4 Blood, and I've been playing that game on and off for a little while, and I've been playing through Nightmare mode. And I just noticed that he just picked up the game a few days ago and he's already blasted through past where I am on Nightmare mode already. And so, yeah, 205 points taken to 954, and so he leads the way, and it's going to take some catching by someone to prevent him from winning. So that's it in terms of the divisions. In terms of some of the other statistics, so rarest trophy of the week. So in fifth place for this week was Crook with his effort in Gloomhaven at 5.25. Redbeard Rick for Aren't You Thankful in Dead Space 3 at 4.79. Yield for his effort in Lego 2K Drive at 4.67. So 4 ultra rares, and then because the other two are the top two, normally it would be Diego getting it at 1.59 for his the Baker's Dozen Massacre in Call of Duty World War II, but California Wayne getting his 0.32 in UFC 3 is going to take, as I said before, take some beating. That's what he's got. So he's leading the overall with Diego in second. Yield is in third, myself in fourth, and Mr. TMNT in fifth. So if you want a space in the overall rarest trophies, you need to be beating 3.74% to get a spot in that. The other interesting stat is Yield and Diego. We've been doing 5 weeks now. Yield and Diego have featured every week in the rarest trophies of the week. So well done to them. Myself and Callie Wayne are at 4, MZ 3. Rick has featured twice, and Mr. TMNT and Crook have each featured once each. Other stats: top of the platinum count is Crook on 9, and Dupes is second with 6. So these are stats that you will be able to see moving forward. What I will be doing is there were a total of. I'll just turn out. So total of, where's that count? Just see where they count. It's not telling me. Yeah, it looks like 40 odd platinums were earned in January across the board.
And I got none of those.
39 platinums there were. And I've narrowed it down to a short list of 10, which will be coming out either later tonight or tomorrow. There'll be a little video to accompany it, and then we'll put a vote up to that. I know that engagement is important to me, because obviously whether it be a thumbs up or a comment or anything like that, because what I don't want to be doing is sort of doing it all, and if people aren't that interested in it, do you know what I mean? I won't. There's no point in me doing it. So when we do the vote, we can share it on the other groups, Trophy Horse and Loot Bros. But I'd really, whether you're a participant or not, is just like you to vote for what you would deem to be the platinum of the month, because we'll then have a platinum for each of the months, right through from January to December, and then what we'll have at the end is a platinum of the year, where the winners of each month will go into a contest where people vote on what they deem was the platinum of the year. And so as I said, it doesn't have to be, when you're thinking of criteria, it doesn't have to be the rarest or the hardest or the grindiest or spent the most time in it. It can literally be such as a game you've always wanted in your collection as a platinum, and you haven't got round to it yet, or base it on difficulty. If you think someone's fully deserved it because of the time they spent in, then fine, vote for that one. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't. You can use your own criteria to make your own mind up on what you think the platinum of the month should be.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like the little videos that you've been making, and I think it's really, really cool. So I encourage everybody to jump in, give that thumbs up. What do the YouTubers say these days? Smash that like button.
Smash that like, yeah. So when I see that, it just makes me know that people are reading it, you see, and then I can and then it sort of encourages me to want to do it, keep doing it more. It's when you don't see any engagement, then that's when you think, well, are people are just skipping past it and not paying attention, because then whose benefit am I doing it for? So
that's right. That's right. And it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of time, a lot of work. So reward the man. Smash that like button.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. So,
that's right.
So there we are. I think we're bang on time, because obviously I know that you've got to get off. I've got some work to do as well. So
that was perfect. It's almost like we're professionals and we know what we're doing.
We're nearly there. I think we.
That's right. So, start at the bottom. Now we're here. So Gareth, thank you so much for your time, brother. Thank you so much for doing this, for getting behind this event. Guys, participate, check out the spreadsheet, smash that like button, engage with it, because it's a lot of fun. And I look forward to no longer being in last place. The next time we get together, calling my shot, Babe Ruth style, pointing to the stands, I will not be in last place.
We'll see about that.
Gareth, man, it's good talking with you. Always a pleasure. You have a great week. Do great things, and we'll catch you guys next time. Always remember, on the Loot Bros Podcast, Animes for Pervs.